Hello and welcome to StroongeCast episode 97.
Are secrets ever okay?
You know as much as I do because I don't yet know the topic 100%. I only know the title. So we're going to go we're going to go with that.
We will discuss.
But yeah. Tell me about before your secrets. Tell me about your week.
Well, I don't think too much has happened this week. Just usual stuff. Nothing exciting. We're kind of on the countdown to holiday, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've got just over 2 weeks till we go.
This is true.
So yeah, there's not a huge amount that's been happening, but still busy at the same time, but just with boring stuff. Yeah.
It's got hot again a bit today.
It's muggy, isn't it? We felt like it was muggy.
Yeah. Oh, we have had issues with the water.
We had intermittent hot water, didn't we?
Yeah, but it was apparently getting worse for a long time. And we didn't know because it was hot and sunny. So when we would shower, we'd shower with cooler water. And it wasn't until, the
last weekend, when it was cooler.
Yeah.
We wanted a slightly warmer shower. And it could not provide.
It did not at all. And then we worked out that we had a problem in the cupboard, which brings all the water into the house. And then we had to get someone to come out and fix it. And in fixing it, he broke it. But it wasn't his fault. We absolutely do not blame him. We had a nice guy called Graham. Graham the waterman.
He was funny.
He was very funny.
Yeah.
But there's a valve in the cupboard, and the valve was getting all broken and gunked up. And he decided to kind of snap it off so that he could put a new one on. And he thought he had the right size, didn't he? But he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it was like millimeters different. So it really was nothing. It was not
you
his
couldn't
fault,
eyeball
but
it.
He felt really bad because then he couldn't fix it that night. So we had to wait till the next day. But it's fine.
Yeah, it was late at night.
Yeah, it was.
It was all really a bit strange. And I had trouble booking the appointment because I booked it online on Sunday and it did go through. And I called Monday and I said, "Did you guys get my appointment?" And the lady at the other end said, "Oh, no, it didn't go through." So she booked it and it went to some company and it got to, it was booked as an emergency because no hot water is considered emergency. 4 to 6 hours later, she says, and it got to about 5 p.m. and I called this other company that the thing was supposed to go through and they said, "Oh, no, it's not us. We're just gas people." And then I had to go back and book it, another one. And luckily they had someone to come out 3 hours after that. But it was 8 o'clock by the time we saw Graham, the waterman. But anyway, that didn't work. He left the house about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Next day we got someone else come out and actually he did fix it. Left the cupboard smelling very funny though.
Yeah,
it's better now.
Doesn't it? It's horrible.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
I don't know if it was like sealant or whatever, but
yeah, it's really awful.
It's been a bit of a kerfuffle.
But we have hot showers, so that's...
really hot.
Yeah, now it's a bit too hot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But in a way, that's good because it means that we can turn it down and save money.
Yeah, exactly.
But apart from that, honestly, the week's been super quiet. I'm not teaching. Everybody's off. So that's been like the most, I wouldn't say exciting, but interesting thing to happen this whole week.
Yeah.
And it's not even Thursday, is it?
No. We are recording extra early because I've got a really busy day tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we just thought, get it in now. Then we know it's safe and,
It's like
done.
Almost 9:20 in the evening on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So super early.
It is.
Oh, yeah. All right, fine. Tell us the answer to the quiz question last week then.
So, last week's quiz question was about the meaning of Puerto Rico in English.
Yeah.
What does it mean? And people did get it right in the comments, which we'll go through in a minute. But it actually, do you know what it means?
I read it and I've forgotten.
It's rich port.
In
Spanish.
Like what your dad gave me to drink.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. And this week's quiz question is, out of the 5 digits, Which is responsible for over 40% of hand function?
Ooh, good one.
So there you
Okay.
go.
As a
Have a
piano player, I should probably know that. Right then.
Quiz, not quiz questions. Comments.
Comments, yes.
Yeah. So, lovely Marie. We have, first of all, she says, for the quiz question, Puerto Rico translates to rich port or port rich if you want to be super literal. So well done. You got that right. She then says, I love how geeky you have become with AI. It's so much fun to see you come out with all these new add-ons and things, but AI can be very slippery slope.
Yeah.
It can be good and it can be bad. I think in general, it's a great innovation because it brings science fiction to life.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Absolutely. I think it is just that thing of you just have to be careful.
Yeah, definitely. You can do very bad things with it.
We then have Ashley. He says, I am not against vibe coding. However, I do believe as a coder that you should attain at least enough of an understanding to check the code you're generating, especially if you're creating apps that run on or control the network or are controlling critical systems like home automation. I certainly wouldn't be using Claude to generate anything now that GPT 5.6 is out. In my opinion, there is no competition. I recently worked on a Swift app that somebody had vibe coded using Claude, and it was an absolute mess. I brought the project into Codex.
That's what I use.
Yeah. There's just so many words that just go straight over my head.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, threw a prompt to GPT 5.6 Soul on its extra high effort level, and it did an exceptional job cleaning it up and fixing the truly awful engineering that Claude had considered a release-ready app. I am glad that AI is empowering people to build things they want and need, especially regarding accessibility, but I do believe it's important to understand the potential security issues or engineering issues that a vibe-coded app may present. To give you another example, I found a bug in a simple Mac OS app, a markdown editor, that was open source on
GitHub?
Is it GitHub?
Yeah, GitHub.
Okay. Okay,
Hub
well,
with a
he's
B.
put GitHub, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, I just wasn't sure how to say
That's
that.
where I upload my apps and where Ed uploads his apps too.
Yeah. The bug would put a background task into a loop that would constantly write data to the disk and overwrite itself, causing huge amounts of excessive disk wear.
Oh, wow.
Really not something you want on SSD. This was happening in the background with no obvious crash or performance issue. The only way you'd have noticed besides excessive temperatures would have been to look at the activity monitor. That app was written by Claude Opus?
Yeah, Opus is the word.
Yeah.
That's not a made-up word either. That's just a word.
Also, guys, if you don't understand all of that, don't worry. Because I don't understand.
So these are just
You
different types of
understand
models, right?
Yeah. No, I get that. And I get what he's saying, that, you have to know a bit about it yourself and check it all and stuff. I understand the gist. I just mean like the ins and outs.
But you know what it is?
Are a bit
A lot
over
of
my
people, right? A lot of people will make something and just go, they run it once to make sure it works, but they don't test all the ins and outs and all the deeper side of it.
Yeah.
And that's not how you test an app.
Yeah.
Now, ever since we met, and even before, I've been beta testing apps for companies. So I know what to look for, and the kind of tasks they would set you is go to this part of the app and try this test and do that. So when I'm making my apps, I try to think how I was taught to look for things and try to run those tests, because something made the app for me. And even if it was somebody, you would still want to do that. You wouldn't just want to trust blindly in what was made.
Yeah.
And it's really, really important that you take that seriously. And if people just open it once and go, oh, the UI loads, it must be okay. It's not.
Yeah.
That's part of it. But yeah.
And then our last couple of comments from Tara. So we have, OMG, I despise the subscription model.
Yes.
I know people have to make money, but after a while, it just seems like greed. Totally agree on that.
Absolutely agree with that.
I mean, at least it's a little bit easier on Apple phones to see your subscriptions. And I think now they even send you an email. I think I've had an email to say, oh, your like yearly subscription for, if it is a yearly subscription, because that's the one that you are more likely to forget, isn't it?
Yep.
And they send you an email to say, oh, this is coming up, so you can cancel it then.
We had an issue with Disney Plus, didn't we? And I cussed them.
Yeah, you were really angry about that because your card that they had saved had expired.
Yep.
So you assumed, oh, it's fine because they'll try and take it and it won't work. So you didn't do anything else about it.
That's right.
But they still managed to take the money.
They had, they talked to the banks because that's what they do. And they swapped over the card information without me doing anything.
Yeah, which is really sneaky. But again, that's probably like something that's in one of those stupid...
It's a convenience thing, right?
And stuff.
I get it.
Yeah,
but if Disney can do it, why can't Amazon? Right? Something I actually care about.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, dear.
And then the other comment from Tara. I really love this episode. So glad that you guys are sharing all of the exciting things that you're doing with AI. All of the cakes that you were mentioning sound delicious. When Ed was talking about cars, I wanted to say that we have gone electric within the last 3 months. I made my first deal on an electric car in May, a 2024 Volkswagen ID.4S. I did it all over the phone and through text with very little input from Scott.
That's her husband.
Yeah. He loved it so much, but not enough for it to be the one that he really wanted to drive all the time. So that is now Devon's daily driver. That's her son. Yeah. Since he is commuting back and forth to his internship. Around the end of June, I made my second killer deal on a Kia EV6. Nice. Again, with very little input from Scott. I'm very proud of myself that I was able to do it and not get jerked around, since that's what dealerships like to do when it comes to women. Again, this is done all by phone and mostly text. The point of this whole thing is that AI played a part in the research and the comparisons between different models and makes and years of different cars that we've been looking at and test driving.
You can relate to that.
Yeah, I think when there's so much information out there, you know, like before we would just put things into Google.
Yeah.
And then you're just faced with so much to trawl through. And if you don't have the bandwidth to do that, to sort of ask
for help,
whatever AI you're using, and just sort of say, look, can you show me the main things, the main differences between this and this? Or this is what I'm looking for. It needs to have X, Y, and Z. Can you please find me some suggestions? It doesn't mean that you're not going to then check that yourself, but it's just helping you maybe narrow down a little bit.
We've never had that before.
No.
Not really. There are websites where you might have been able to go, right, I want this, and these are my, like filters. But it's not something talking back to you. It's just a website helping you filter by almost like a pie chart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Or a flowchart.
Also, just to quickly add, because Ed replied to Tara's comment.
Oh, okay.
And just said that they also got the ID4 and the Emily, his wife, loves it. It's enormous, good for taking the kids and their giant car seats and pushchairs and all the other baby stuff in.
I didn't see that Ed had commented. Okay, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That video has had a lot of views actually in the last not even week. It's done very well.
It's interesting. Listening to you guys is, really interesting, and
it's like double the views of.
And we like having
other episodes.
Ed as a
guest. People seem to like that. If you want to hear more Ed, by the way, go back exactly 53 now episodes to episode 44.
Yeah.
Called Communication is Key. And that was an episode we recorded just before our cruise last year.
Yeah.
It was another really, really good episode.
And we do have plans for more.
Yeah, definitely.
When we can schedule them. Hopefully we don't have to wait a whole other year.
No.
As it seems to be, but we'll see.
Oh, boy.
Busy life.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right, then.
Comments are done.
All right, break it down. What's happening?
All right. So again, as I tend to, I hear things on other podcasts or stories or whatever, and it kind of gets my brain ticking. But I was listening to something, and this woman had written in with this dilemma. And she was saying that she had noticed going through the bank statements, like her and her partner or husband have a joint account. Yeah. And she noticed that there was £600 missing. So it had been withdrawn like as cash. So when she asks her husband about what's happened to the money, he says, "Oh, I can't tell you." And she sort of pushes him a bit further, and he says, "Look, I had to lend it to somebody, but I need to respect their requests not to tell you, and I will get it back, but I can't tell you any more than that." And she was kind of a bit put out by this. Like, is he telling the truth? Is he cheating on her and using this money? And, you know, she didn't really know how to react to it. And it just got me thinking about how that situation would play out in our relationship.
I can tell you exactly how it would play out.
Go on then.
So a few months ago, I lent my dad some money. He called me up very late at night. And he said, "Could you lend me 200 quid? And I say, "Yeah, sure. You know there's still money outstanding, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah, I know. But could you lend me 200 quid? But don't tell your wife." And I said, "Listen, right, dad or not, don't disrespect me like that. In my house, she either knows about it or you don't get the money. Simple as."
I didn't know about that.
Get off my phone.
I mean, I knew that. I didn't know that he'd said.
He said, "Oh, it just has to be between us." I said, "No, it's not like that. It's between me and my wife and you, because even though it's not necessarily a big amount, it's the principle of the thing."
Yeah.
So that's how it plays out in my house.
That is how
it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So we took the money, and I told you.
Yeah.
I said, you have two choices, right? It's an ultimatum. You either take the money, and I tell her, or you don't get the damn money.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, because it wouldn't have made any difference.
No compromise.
Anyway, but yeah, so.
And you've seen we don't have a joint bank account. We always agreed.
We don't have
like a joint
account.
Toothbrush. Right?
You could have very easily lent anybody, theoretically, any sum of money, and I wouldn't have any idea about it.
But I don't agree with that.
No.
And if I buy something big, you must know as well.
Yeah.
Unless it's for you, in which case you must not know.
Yeah.
But I think it's dirty and underhanded. Like, just no.
So what the people that were responding to it were sort of saying, look, you know, it could be that it's a close family member that's having a really difficult time. Maybe, you know, I
still don't care. I'm very, very adamant about this. Yeah. And sometimes I'm like either or. I can see, but there is no two sides to this. Not for me. There just isn't.
Yeah. So you would, as you did, say, no, either I tell her or...
You don't get it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's no skin off my nose if you don't get it.
No.
So you have to decide.
No. And I completely agree with you. It's not really been a situation that's arisen from my side. But I completely agree that when it comes to things financially like that, there absolutely shouldn't be secrets.
Exactly.
But then
and it's like the bank statements, isn't it? When it comes, and it's always braille and print, I always say just open it, skim it, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Because that's what you should do.
But also that's because you can't necessarily. You wouldn't be giving me your bank statements if you could read them. I mean, you can, obviously, because they come in braille and stuff, but it's just long-winded and annoying. And on the phone.
But there's always the chance you miss something weird.
Yes.
I'm very diligent about that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course you are.
You never know.
But you wouldn't say to me if you could just see them and scan them.
Nah.
I feel like that's more of just
it's a massive trust thing.
Of course. But, you know, you don't get married and have been together for the best part of 20 years without having that kind of trust.
You shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. So then, that money thing aside,
yeah,
going back to the title, are secrets ever okay?
They are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So examples of secrets that you would consider are okay in a marriage,
buying
or
you
committed
things,
relationship,
treating you to things,
gifts,
and it'd be a long like if it's something far out, and like, oh, I found this, now I have to hide it somewhere, like under Jake's bed or whatever.
Yeah.
Then yeah, damn straight.
Yeah.
But there's a time and a place and a way to do it.
Of course. Yeah, gifts. I mean, that's an obvious. Definitely keep as a secret.
Yeah, like it has to be for a good reason.
Yeah.
I think that's the important factor.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there might be things that I've not told you, but not out of choosing not to. Just it hasn't come up, or I haven't felt it necessary to say. Do you know what I mean? Like, not, oh, I'm not going to tell you that. If it impacted you in some way, but you can't tell your partner every single thing.
No.
Of every single day. Like, it would just be insane. So yeah, but in terms of actually saying that is something I'm specifically not going to tell you. Yeah. So what about random situation if friend or family said something negative?
Yeah, you'd find out.
I'd find out. You'd tell me.
We've had this discussion.
We have. Yeah.
You'd find out.
I would find out.
Because it impacts the relationship you have with people.
Yeah.
So you'd have to know.
Because I think some people would think, oh, well, I don't want them to know what's been said, or, cause an issue around that. But
they caused it. So in causing it, that is already a problem. So yeah, you'd find out.
Yeah.
But you're quite different, right? And that you might keep it quiet so that I wouldn't be affected by it, but you shouldn't.
I think it would depend, because that's never been a thing. I mean, there was that, my friend when we first got together, which we've mentioned, and we did talk about that.
And she didn't stick around.
No. But none of my family or anybody have ever said anything negative or detrimental, horrible, whatever, about you. I think it would depend. If it was just like a little tiny stupid comment,
right,
then yeah, I probably wouldn't say anything. But if it was, as in the situation the other way around, actual lies about you, then yeah, I would.
It becomes two-faced then, because you see them, they're all like, oh, happiness and light, and oh, nice to see you.
Yeah, exactly. And, in some situations, you do need to know what people really are like.
Yeah, you do.
And also kind of have that opportunity to defend yourself and explain,
It could be a wrong end of the stick situation.
It could be a what, sorry?
Wrong end of the stick situation.
Wrong end of the stick. Yeah, exactly. And, to be able to say, well, maybe talk to me about it first.
Yeah.
Maybe bring that up with me first.
Yeah, good distinction.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't think of many other things that I would keep from you. I'm also not very good at keeping secrets. I mean, I am when it comes to like gifts or, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not like someone tells me and I'm going to go tell everybody else or anything like that. I just mean like between you and me.
Come on, you even get sad at dreams.
That is true. I did have a dream a couple of weeks ago, which I was really unhappy about.
Yep.
And it made me really sad for the whole day.
The whole day,
The whole day.
She was off.
Yeah, I was. So I think that's the thing. I think because you're so in tune with me, you know as soon as something's wrong. So if there was something that was bothering me, which keeping something big from you would bother me, you'd know anyway. So, you know.
But I'm also one that doesn't try to find out gifts.
No.
I really hate that.
No, it's all about the surprise. You should never. I would actively go out of my way to not find out. Like, it's my birthday next month, and I just wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to know anything.
That's the point, listeners. It's her birthday. It's a big one. Come on, let's all club in and get her something fun.
Oh my gosh, it is a big one.
You're not old. You're beautiful.
Thanks.
It's all right.
I know.
You're
it's a milestone one, isn't
like a fine non-alcoholic wine.
it? Yeah.
Which is okay with me.
The non-drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get something.
We should. Tomorrow, which would be Thursday.
Yeah.
Because obviously, basically the 23rd of July.
It's the multiple birthday day.
It's the multiple birthdays. So it's my dad's birthday.
Yep.
It would be your mum's birthday.
Yep.
And your granddad's birthday.
Yes. There's only one left representing now.
I know. And we always try and do something to sort of
mark the day.
Your mum.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
That's the point, people. If you'd have met my mum, Ed met my mum and heard my mum, she would have been a great person to have on the podcast.
She would have been really fun to have on the podcast.
That's a plane.
She would have told all kinds of crazy stories about you.
Yeah, like Pam has been doing.
Yeah, that would have been... she would have loved that, like having Pam...
Yeah, she definitely would have.
Message in and stuff.
That's been really nice, actually, to hear stuff I forgot or didn't remember or didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we need someone to do that for you.
Oh, gosh. Well, maybe when we're on holiday.
Yeah.
Maybe something will come up. I don't know. So we don't really have like a specific topic, do we? We're just going to kind of wing it a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe just discuss the holiday.
I know, right?
We'll see. I think my sister wants to be a bit involved.
She did say that.
So she did say that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about a way we can mic her up. It'd be great.
It'll be fine.
I'd like that. Maybe she can read the comments.
Yeah.
Be a bit different.
Yeah.
She's the one who gave us the t-shirts initially.
She did.
Actually, we have to pack them because, it's a t-shirt and it's light.
Oh, no, that's hot. Too hot to wear a t-shirt.
It depends where you are.
Okay. We'll take it just in case.
Yeah. Be fun.
Well, I don't have any other secrets.
No other
I just kind of wanted to discuss the take, and maybe other people can say, like, how are things in your relationship? Because maybe if you're lending money to somebody and they specifically ask you not to tell your partner, maybe you don't feel you have to if it's your money. I guess it's different if it's a joint account, but if it's your personal money that you're lending to somebody, maybe you feel like you don't need to tell your partner because that's your money and, that's your decision to make.
You'd have to have a really, really, really good reason not to.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, for our relationship, yeah, but I do just wonder if there are people who are like, well, this is my money, that's your money, you do what you want, I do what I want. They have a different vibe about it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. It's just not.
No, it's just different.
Yeah, it's just not how we do it.
But it's like yesterday I paid for a year of the Apple developer account and I told you, partly because I was excited, but partly because, it's...
But you didn't just say, oh, I've signed up for this and bought whatever. You said specifically it was this amount of money.
It's a chunk. It's like, 80 quid a year. But it's lucky it's not monthly. That'd be terrible. 80 quid a year for the rights to develop for Apple.
I hope it doesn't come across like you have to tell me whenever you
spend. No, she's never said that.
You've never said that. Ever.
But I think it is your right to know.
Yeah, you've always been
It's kind of how I put that. Because I think it's almost an erosion of trust if you don't know. And if you said, I need a massive amount for whatever reason, and we don't have it, when at one time you knew we did have it, then there would have to be a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's much worse.
Yeah, that's true.
That's much
Finding
worse.
it out later is
Right.
always worse.
Before we end this, because it's very short if we don't, we could even talk about like giving each other phones. Like, you've never asked for it, I've never asked for it.
No, I think we've talked about that before.
A bit, yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's a thing that we would both be happy to do, but also upset if the other felt like we needed to.
Like, if you said, give me your phone because I want to check, I'd be upset. But if you said, can I borrow your phone to check on something? It's about wording. And I know that's really pedantic, but it's about presentation.
So what would be better if I said, which wouldn't happen, by the way, this is completely hypothetical. What would be better? Would it be, I'd like to look at your phone and look at your messages and
that's so creepy.
Things. Or can I look at your phone to check something and then I look at the messages? Which would be better?
For me?
Yeah.
I prefer the second because then I don't have to be knowing.
You don't have to know.
Yeah.
But then I'm being sneaky.
It is sneaky.
It is sneaky.
But the first one is like, you're treating me like your child.
Mm.
And I don't want that.
No. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. It wouldn't, it would never happen.
No.
And I think also there's never been a sign that it should be a problem. Like, you've never hidden your phone from me or been like, oh no, like give it back quick, or do you know what I mean? Like, you have two phones and sometimes you like when we order food, you use the other phone because that's what it's loaded up and it's easier for that one.
Yes.
But it's never been like, oh no, you can only look at this phone, or like, do you know what I mean? There's never been any kind of
hint of impropriety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same with me. I mean, obviously it's completely different because you'd have to activate the speech on my phone, but there's never been a time where you've requested or...
No. If I do, it's probably to like enable some useful feature or some stupid thing like that.
Yeah. And I would happily give you my phone.
But I'd rather direct you.
Yeah, exactly. You'll just tell me what to do, make me do it.
I mean, like, even to the point, right, where you have to have, it's quite morbid, but you have to have die contingencies. So like something that gives your partner access to all your passwords.
Yeah, that's true.
It's super, I was going to say so important that happens. So that if anything happens to you or you're in hospital or anything, they can get into the things that need getting into. Because look, just because you're gone, bills still need paying and like stuff still got to happen. And if you need to cancel anything, you don't want to be fighting with providers to get that information. So have your backup plan in place.
Yeah, you have done that. Then that's the thing, is we pretty much know all of each other's passwords. I mean, not those like stupidly long ones that you save for everything, but the main things to get into each other's phones or computers or whatever.
If you can get past Face ID, you can access those things. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? If you know the PIN, you're pretty much on solid ground.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say that is more for safety reasons than I want to check up on you. Than
snooping
or vice
reasons.
versa.
Yeah,
exactly.
Agreed.
But then,
I'm not going to take your phone and go through your email. I don't care enough. I'd be bored.
There's about 500,000 awful, ridiculous spam emails. And you'd also be so shocked and disappointed that it is not all tidy and cleaned up like yours is.
Yes. If anyone knows me, I have a zero policy inbox.
Yeah,
right?
No emails stay in the inbox. They all get filed to different places.
Yeah.
Whereas I tend to keep them there for quite a long time.
And I have a thing. If I haven't got to reply to it, it stays in the inbox. And every time I open my email and I see it, I get more and more pissed off because I haven't done it because I'm busy doing something else. And I had this the other day, actually. Someone sent me a piece of music. My friend Nikki, the bass player, she's really cool, right? Sent me a piece of music called Nessa's Legs about her guide dog. It's like a little bass line. And I was going to put, it's cool. I put some little keyboard and drums and bass over the top.
Yeah.
Not bass. She's a bass player. And it was sat in my inbox for like, I don't know, 6 hours. And every time I'd open I'd see it. I can't deal with this. So to stop dealing with it, I took it out, I did the thing, and I sent it back. And then I could save the email. Yeah. If I saved it, I would forget about it. So I left it. But I cannot.
Like a to-do list.
Yeah, to do. If I see messages in my inbox, I have to respond now or delete it or file it.
Yeah.
And if everybody was like me, the world would be a better place.
Yes, it would.
What were you going to say before I interrupted you?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's fair enough.
The brain gave up halfway through.
But that's not even to do with secrets. That's just like tidiness.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be the emails. If you wanted to look through anything, it wouldn't be my emails. It would be messages, I guess. But again, you just see a lot of people asking me to look after their cats, or my sister, my mum, my auntie.
They email you?
No, I mean messages.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No. I
was going to say.
Not my
I can't imagine
email.
your sister actually emailing you. That's just weird.
No, we were actually laughing the other day about how our mum emails us stuff. So like my sister has to pick up an order from Marks and Spencer's for her. So instead of just like sending her a picture or, WhatsApping it to her or whatever, she forwarded the email and things. And it just seems like really
quaint.
Yeah. Whenever she wants me to print something for her, she always emails it to me.
That sort of makes sense because...
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of get it, but it's just funny.
That is funny.
She'll always do that.
I forward you emails sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
But that's because they come as emails.
Yeah. No,
but I'm not going out of my way to send you like a link of our email.
No.
And I've got you pinned to WhatsApp. Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
So how about this? Sort of hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to hide a gift for me in the house, where should I not look for it? Because I wouldn't actually do it. No, seriously, because it'd be nice to not go somewhere.
To be fair, like... I've hidden massive things right in front of you and you've not seen them.
She is discriminating against me for being blind.
Yeah.
Cheekycow.com.
I mean, it's quite easy. I think it's a lot easier for me to hide from you presents than the other way around.
That's taking advantage.
Yeah, but you've now got 2 very grown-up children that can help you hide things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we have an ottoman bed, so you lift it up and you have all the space underneath, and that's always been where I've kept the majority of presents for birthdays and Christmas, and nobody goes under there except for me without asking.
I always think one day you'll go in there and like it'll slide down and you'll be like,
I'm actually terrified of that because people have got stuck and died in those beds.
I know.
Where they've been leaning over and then the bed has come down on them and squashed them.
That's what happened to my last wife. She's still in there now.
She's still under there, buried.
Yeah, you just didn't know.
So I'm actually terrified. So I'm always so careful, and I literally like grab what I need and pull it out.
Yeah. To be fair, this one's actually really good. Good springs.
It is really good, and we've never had any issues. But
it's the thought, isn't it?
Thought that it can happen.
Yeah.
So I'm always really careful.
Okay, so I don't go under the bed.
So you don't go under the bed.
Secrets under the bed.
And maybe in the bottom of my wardrobe sometimes.
Okay, fair.
When there's no space.
I remember that.
And sometimes down the side of my bedside drawers.
Right.
And
gosh, you've just got all these little hidey holes.
Occasionally, although it tends to be more like at Christmas time when I start running out of space.
In the cupboard.
The cupboard. Yeah. In the living room.
We have a cupboard under the stairs.
We do.
We don't keep children in it.
Yeah, although you don't actually get to it from near the stairs. It's like a whole different room, but it is technically under the stairs.
It's quite deep too.
It's really deep. It's a massive cupboard. So we keep a lot of stuff in there. And at Christmas, that can be...
full.
Yeah. But those are all places that you would never look.
I don't.
You would never have any reason to go to. So
I do not. No.
It's never going to be a thing.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, if I was... I'd have to literally get you a present and leave it on your desk, or in your side of the wardrobe for you to find it.
For me to find it.
Yeah.
And you have to be top side. I never go bottom side of my wardrobe unless we're going on holiday.
That's true, you don't.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You have all these hidden places from me.
All these hidden places. Oh, and actually down the other side, your side of the wardrobe on the outside, like there's that gap between the wall. That's a good spot for presents too.
We have a bit of dead space there because there's like a heating vent system. And so the wardrobe can't touch the wall on that side.
No.
So there's a genuinely good bit of space
there. Yeah. So yeah. Now I've just given away all my secrets.
She has. Now you all know.
Where all the presents get hidden.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Yeah. Well then, I shall keep mine to myself.
Yeah. Not that I would look.
Nope. I don't have as many as you. I've got like one.
All right. Are you ready for a Stroonge story?
Oh, definitely.
So we kind of talked about this one earlier this week. This is about a little monkey that was abandoned in a cage on a bus.
Oh, that's so sad.
Really close to us. Like, 10, 15 minute drive.
Yeah.
Not far at all. So this poor terrified little monkey was abandoned on the bus. The RSPCA were called to rescue the common marmoset after the bus driver found her on board the bus on Friday the 17th. In the morning as well. I don't know why I feel like that's even weirder.
Yeah. Last thing at night, you'd think.
Oh, strange person transporting... Because I don't think you can keep those without a license in the UK. It's not normal to have a little marmoset monkey. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyway, they nicknamed her Oyster after the London travel card.
I do like that.
Which I think is adorable. And so the monkey was inside a cage which was covered up in a large laundry bag. So they're now investigating because they've seen on the CCTV of the bus, a mum got on the bus with a buggy but couldn't get down the walkway because the laundry bag was sticking out of the luggage bay and blocking it. So the driver came to help her, and so they're not looking for the mum, it was just that's what alerted them. Yeah. So a mum got on, couldn't get past because this laundry bag was blocking it. And then the driver came out to help her, and as he pushed the bag out of the way, the monkey inside started chirping and jumping around.
Oh, gosh.
And when he peered inside, he spotted the little monkey, and that's when they called the RSPCA.
So did they just hold the bus there?
Well, it says she was taken back to the bus station. So...
so they probably just still did the route.
Yeah, but I don't know where they would have kept that because there's no space in the driver's compartment.
They should have kept it down the side of your bed.
Not that big. So I don't know whether maybe they called somebody to come and pick her up in a separate. Yeah. Because I just feel you can't just have her like randomly out on the bus. I mean, she's in a cage, but still. According to the charity, the monkey was left with some apples, but was very stressed and dehydrated. It was probably really hot for the poor thing in a bag. And they're now assessing the CCTV to see who went on and off the bus to track the person who abandoned her.
Exactly.
She was seen by specialist exotic vets for a checkup, but thankfully was given a clean bill of health. And Oyster is now settling into a new home in a sanctuary with specialist facilities for primates, and she'll soon be introduced to a new male companion who they've been looking for a friend for.
Oh, monkey time.
She's just having a friend.
Nice. That's what they all say at first.
But they said she's really settling in well over last weekend and eating. And if she isn't claimed, she'll remain there with the experienced keepers.
That's the best place.
Yeah, I think so.
Having a monkey of a time.
Little Oyster the monkey.
That's a really cute name. I like it.
I think it's adorable. Because they are kind of like a dark and grey little furry ears.
Did you know that every time we release an episode, we actually have the story that we talked about linked in the show notes? Because I don't think I ever say that, but we do each week.
Yes, if you want to go look it up.
And you can
you can also Google Oyster the monkey.
Yep.
And I'm sure it will come up.
But every week we do this and you can watch it.
Yeah, you can see little pictures.
If you can.
Yep.
All right.
Oyster.
Well, there we go. Much shorter than last week. Great fun, though. Secrets. Tell us all your secrets
Yeah.
on YouTube in a
We
public
won't share
forum.
them, we
You won't
promise.
share them. Yeah, exactly. No one's listening. It's just you. Just you.
Yeah.
Just the way it should be. Well, thanks so much for being with us again. Episode 98 next week. I don't know what we're doing. And 2 after
Got
that.
an idea.
Wow, we're getting so close to the holiday now. Just 3 more weeks. 3 more episodes. And
2 more, no?
after this, what are we on? 97, I said?
Yeah, so
8,
98,
9, 100.
99, and then 100 while we're away. So 2 more after this.
Okay, 2 more and then on holidays 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big 100.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to, you could maybe start suggesting topics for the 100th while we're away. And
Or
maybe
just
it'd be
topics
fun.
in general.
Yeah. It'd be great to see.
Sometimes we have weeks where it's really hard to think of things.
Really hard. But we can't not do it, you see. It's been a thing and we've been very...
We'll always think of something.
Yeah.
But if there's things that you want us to look at or think about or
We like talking about
discuss,
things.
you know.
I think
or
it
our
really opens up
opinions on things.
our ears, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's fun.
definitely.
I've got a late editing job ahead of me now.
Yep.
Sleepy already.
No.
I think I fell asleep before dinner.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
Alice and I were laughing slightly.
Oh, great.
Just at your sleepy face with your mouth open.
Oh, lovely.
You weren't snoring. It's
Stuff
okay.
a secret in that, will you? Right then. Here we go. I will leave you be and hope that you will return to us next week. But in the meantime and in between time.
Bye.